Hey guys, it's your girl Luna, and we're here for another little tea time with Luna. It is Thursday, it is Friday Eve. We're practicing a little self-care today. And today I've got a little story for you. We're gonna give you all a little story of today, right? So I was talking to my granny, and I love my granny. My granny is one of my favorite girls in the world, right? And she's always been very loving and supportive, and I love talking to my grandmother. And so in the midst of our conversation at one point, I made a comment about how a big part of my family doesn't have any idea what the fuck I do. Like, they have absolutely no idea what I do. Like, they've never been on my website. Like, they have no idea what the fuck I do. Like, have no idea that I have written books. Have no idea that I be out here healing people, bringing people back from the brink of death. Like, have no idea, like, about anything I do. Have no idea that I motherfucking be out here eating and slaying demons, well over 100 of them a year. Like, well over 100 a year. Have no idea about any of the work that I be doing. And I be sensing that it always kind of like gives her a little apprehension, because, you know, my granny, she done found Jesus. After a certain age, she found God. She done found Jesus, and she's very much about Jesus and God. And I'm not saying nothing about that. You dig? Like, it is what it is. I'm not saying you can't believe in Jesus. You believe whatever you want to believe in. As long as you're not coming over here trying to tell me nothing. Like, as long as we hear, like, you live your life, I live my life, it is what it is, right? But she always kind of has, like, this little, like, I could feel like she's kind of scared for me. And she kind of be like, well, like, I don't know. Like, that's kind of, you do what? You know, I love you, baby, but you do what? You can do what? What? And I understand. It's just because she doesn't understand. She doesn't understand. How is it possible for me to do X, Y, and Z? You know, how is that possible? How is that possible? If according to the Bible, I'm not supposed to be able to do so, right? And honestly, I grew up Catholic. I started at 8 years old. I started dissecting the Holy Bible. And by the time I was 11, I dropped out of my CCD classes because my priest, Father Ken, shout out to Father Ken at St. Aloysius, Father Ken could not properly answer my questions because I had a lot of questions. I found a lot of discrepancies. See, unlike my classmates, yeah, honey, see, I have a 9th house stellium in Sagittarius, and that's the house of Sagittarius. That's the house of the scholar. So I'm going to always be a researching ass bitch. Like, that's just what I'm going to do. That's just what we're going to always do, right? So I was actually researching. I was dissecting that book down, right? When Father Ken could not answer those questions good enough for me, he could not actually explain to me properly why the fuck these discrepancies exist. And I'm like, bro, if you can't do your one job, like, this is your only job. Your only job is to make me understand. You can't make me understand. Well, you know what? I will not confirm myself into this religion. It is what it is. I started fucking studying world religion. And I told her this. I studied world religion. By the time I was in my early 20s, I had already covered everything. Everything. I own pretty much everybody's Bible. I studied world religion. And then we got into the Jesus talk. And I mean, we're not going to go into that here because honestly, as somebody who reads energy signatures and as somebody who can do that, I honestly wish that more people would take the time to develop that within themselves and learn how to read energy signatures and do all that, because if you don't know how to read energy signatures, there's a very good chance that you can be lied to. And like, we talked about that as well. And I talked to her about, you know, how some people do get lied to. Some people are out here consorting with motherfucking demons and have no fucking idea that they're doing that. Why? Because the demon that they're consorting with is what I would consider a more higher level demon, right? What I call a Decepticon, what some of y'all may know as like a false light, right? An empty shell, if you will. Those types of demons do fucking exist, right? And honestly, have I had to deal with them? Of course, I eat those bitches. But I eat them so I can drag them into the universal flow of consciousness. So their soul can be processed, because what is a demon but a de-evolved soul? That's basically all that it is. A demon is not what Hollywood makes you think that it is. Not even fucking close. When the vessel ceases, the soul is supposed to walk into the light so that their soul can be processed, right? But if they don't walk into the light, their soul ends up trapped here. And the longer that they're here and the more that their soul devolves, the more their soul darkens. And that's what we know here as a demon. But let's be real, it's just a fucking devolved soul. Neither here nor there. You dig? My granny's a little scared for me. And she's like, I'm gonna pray for you. I'm gonna pray that you always, are always connected to God and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, amen, amen, and ashe, yes, ashe and amen. Okay, yes, pray for me, granny. Pray for me always and always and forever. But I told her, because I felt like she wasn't understanding like all where it came from. And I told her, like, listen, I've always been like this. I've been like this since I was a child. I knew, and I told her, I was like, I knew at 7, 8 years old when you were lying to me about the fact that your son wasn't coming back, your son, aka my daddy, when you were lying to me, I knew you were lying to me. I knew. I've always known. I've known from the time I was a fucking child. From the time I was 5, I knew this is not my motherfucking world. This ain't my planet, bitch. This is not home. I've always known. It is what it is. I've always had these gifts. At 12 years old, the only people that I knew that God was talking to me and through me was my immediate family. My mom, my pops, my stepmom, my brothers, like they're the only people who knew. In my early 20s, like my best friend knew that I could channel messages. My homies, my homeboys, they knew I could channel messages. Why? Because it would just randomly happen sometimes. I told my grandmother, I lived in a fucking state of denial and repression and suppression of who I was and my gifts for 31 fucking years. I grew up suppressing myself, not wanting to feel crazy, not wanting to, get caught up in no craziness, not wanting, fearing like, damn, if I'm going to go over there, like I need to be prepared and I need to know what's what and I need to make sure that just in case we come across some demons, I know how to fucking handle that shit. You dig? So, I got very emotional and I told her, like, you don't think that I wish that I could be normal? You don't think that I wish that I couldn't hear, see, sense? I used to pray my gifts away as a child. Oh, you don't think that I wish that I was normal, motherfucker? I spent 31 years trying to fit in and trying to be motherfucking normal and trying to motherfucking assimilate with the rest of the humans here. I spent a long fucking time trying to do that. And honestly, I hit my 30s and God said, like, nah, it's time. Like, you girl, like, we got some work to do. You got some other work to do. Like, I'm gonna need you to get it together because we need you to ascend. Like, I need you to get to work. You got people to lead. You got people to help. You got people to direct and giddy. You gotta help these people. You gotta help these people, right? So, if I could have been motherfucking normal, I would have been. If I could have just been here having a regular ass motherfucking ass human experience, not having none of these gifts, not being able to hear, sense, feel, fucking taste, smell, spirit, like being able to feel people's fucking bodily issues, being able to hear their mental fucking thoughts and their fucking mental processes, you think I wouldn't want to be normal? Ignorance is bliss. Of course, I would want to be fucking normal, but that's not who the fuck I am. I didn't come in this realm to be normal. I didn't be born into this planet within this vessel in this lifetime to be motherfucking normal. I've never been normal, not across time and space. For me to sit here and act like I'm anything but this fucking amazing soul that I am is an affront to my very fucking being. Like, I can't sit here and continue to deny who the fuck I am. That doesn't make me happy. And for the first time in my life, I told her, I'm living a very happy and fulfilling life. Shit, do you know what it's like to never work again in your fucking life because you just live in alignments? And when you live in alignments, what the fuck is work? What is that? I don't know what the fuck it is, right? So, that being said, when you live in alignments, wherever God is taking you, regardless of whether or not you have had to fucking drag your feet with that, whether or not greatness has had to be thrust upon you, right? Because some of us are born into greatness, some of us achieve greatness, but some of us have greatness thrust upon us. And I was definitely one of those motherfuckers because I didn't want this shit. But here the fuck we are. And I'm happy and I'm grateful. I'm so grateful that I did the work. I'm so grateful that I chose to be obedient to God and where God was bringing me, because I've never been more happier in my life and I've never felt more fulfilled in my life. So yes, to all of my motherfucking weirdos out there, to all the black sheep, you really the motherfucking goat, bitch. For real, you are really the fucking goat. Keep your head high. Keep fucking moving forward. Keep finding yourself. Keep healing. Keep loving yourself, right? Before you know it, you're going to be in a whole new world. And it's fucking beautiful over here, baby, all right? I love you. Sending you guys hella fucking love. If I don't see you around during these lives, I got a class tomorrow. We're doing Divination 101 tomorrow, y'all. But if I don't see you around, I love you. Have a great weekend. Bye.